Good morning, team. Yes, it's time. It's time. I think we're 3 minutes behind. So, I don't know how many people are actually on the call. Okay, one person, just Latif. Okay, boss, if you can hear me, please indicate. Just type something if you can hear me. Okay, three more people are joining us. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we have Ayomide also. Omole on the cloud team. All right, so I think I should give maybe 2 minutes so that everyone else in the office can join. Yes, yes, it's on email etiquette. Yeah, that's the first slide. I've not started yet. I want everybody available to join before we can actually proceed so that some people don't miss out. Okay, Mr. Latif, you can actually give us a go ahead when everyone else have joined and you would like us to proceed. You can actually give that the go ahead then. Okay, 5 more minutes. We're waiting for Friday to join. Okay. Okay, I think this is the 5 minutes we agreed upon. Um, I don't know if Friday is still joining us. Okay, Latif says Friday we catch up when he joins us shortly. So I think we're going to proceed without him. Um, the thing is, I would like for this class to actually be as interactive as possible. Is on Yes, exactly. Latif say besides it is recorded. So any person that is not on the call right now or that's not streaming right now can always go back to the video on YouTube and rewatch later. All right. So that is covered. Okay, so the topic is emailing etiquette. I know this is a very, very generic or common topic that we must have come across, and I believe that every person, so far you're working in a place like Layer 3, you have the basics of emailing etiquette. All right, all I want us to do right now is just go through what we already know, brush up on what we already know, and give ourselves advices and tips on how to be better, and also while doing that reminding ourselves on those things that we're already making use of, okay, they're already implementing. Okay, and so as this thing works, as we know this thing works from the last time we had a class, you can always drop your questions in the comment section. I will see them, I'll put them on the screen, and we'll discuss about those questions. All right. So this class also is going to be as short as possible. I wouldn't want us taking too much of the support reps time, because I know how valuable your time is. All right. So we wouldn't be taking too much of your time. We'll try to run through this since it's a very familiar topic and get to the end. And after this, we'll be sending a very short quiz to kind of to let us know how much you've understood on this. And if we still have more time at the end of the class, we can always revisit our previous class and do a kind of a short revision. All right. So the topic is emailing etiquette. All right. And if there is anything we know is that the support reps actually, will I say, they are the most they are the team that actually comes across emailing the most in the whole of the layer 3 family. All right, so this will surely come in handy, I believe. All right. Okay, introduction. What is emailing etiquette? All right, so basically, emailing etiquette refers to the code of conduct that guides behavior when writing or responding to emails. These principles of behavior can be modified to suit the intended audience and purpose, and are meant to project professionalism and respect. All right, the nature in which, okay, and why is emailing etiquette important? All right. Okay, let me just digress a bit now. Okay, the slides now is actually meant to guide us through what we're meant to discuss. All right. I want this to be a discussion class, not just me rolling through slides and reading it out. All right. So let's actually make it conversational. All right. So why is emailing etiquette important? The way you communicate reflects the type of employee you are, including your work ethic and attention to detail. Companies may benefit from implementing best practices for emailing etiquette for the following reasons: professionalism and efficiency. For professionalism, using proper emailing etiquette conveys the professional image of your employees and overall organization. Efficiency, emails that adhere to etiquette are direct, concise, and they convey their message quickly. All right, if there's something that I actually loved when I came to layer 3 was there was the emailing etiquette, all right, was that system of emailing, the professionalism attached to every email and stuff, even though it was internal. and stuff, but there you will still sense this professionalism. Emails going out are well organized and everything. We say actually how to do some adjustments to actually fit in to the emailing system and stuff. But still, yeah, not regardless, I think we still need to go through some things that will help us now fine tune what we're already doing. All right. So why this topic? All right, this topic is very generic. It's like it's the most basic thing. Like if you're coming on board the support reps team, this is like the first thing that they should put you through: how to send emails, how to copy people, the fonts to use, and stuff like that. But why this topic? The electronic mail now is an essential tool of business in layer 3, providing convenient, time-saving communication within the company and external clients, vendors, and partners. It is the main channel of communication within the company and serves to conserve some critical company information and correspondences, and it relates to you. It is the primary means at which customer escalations are being transferred or allocated to responsible departments. All right, that's at it relates to support reps now. All right. So why this topic? Basically, I know that okay, every person knows how to send an email, every person knows how to type out an email, who to send it to, how to structure the email. You know about the body, the title, and the subject, coming down to the salutation, the body, then the closure and stuff like that. Okay, and what was the last part? The signatory part. All right. I know every person knows how to structure this email, but you will still believe that okay, the kind of email we actually send to clients outside shouldn't be the tone, the intonation you use now shouldn't be the same thing with the kind of email you send to your to internal colleagues, to your colleagues internally. All right. Okay, maybe for a client outside now, you might want to start your salutation with "Dear Mr. Afolabi." All right. But maybe for an internal colleague now, you might go with something like "Hello, Afolabi." All right. So these are the differences. Okay. So now we'll jump into the guidelines for a professional email. Okay. I've actually listed out there are a lot of guidelines, like a lot of guidelines out there for you to implement when sending a professional email. All right. When sending a very formal email. But I've actually picked out a few now that really relate to us and I believe we can really relate to. All right. And the first of them is using standard formatting. All right. It will go without noticing that even as of now that we have almost gotten our email in the company right, you will still see some internal emails. All right. You see some internal emails using some kind of fonts that are not really pleasing to the eye. All right. You see at times the person is sending with a very tiny font, or some kind of funny looking font that doesn't really go well with the eye when looking at them. Okay, so standard fonts such as Times New Roman or Arial, as well as standard colors and sizes are appropriate for business emails. If you use bold or italics, then never use them on more than one word or a string of words in a single email. All right. Unless you are the CEO, then I think you are not allowed to just use an ultra bold font on your email. You understand? Bold fonts lays emphasis, all right? Lays emphasis. Imagine you send me an email, bold fonted, everything is bold fonted. Like it's either you're trying to tell me that you're angry or you're being impatient about what you want to work on. All right. So standard fonts actually sends a lot of message. The kind of font you use sends a lot of message. If you're using italics, all right, within your email, you're italicizing a particular word or phrase. You are laying emphasis. You are bringing attention now to that particular word or phrase. That is why it's not good to just italize or bolden all of your text. All right. So using standard fonts, you know that there are a lot of fonts, there are thousands of fonts, okay? But there are standard fonts. These fonts now are fonts that are easy to read. They are you can just look at them in one glance and understand every letter, every word. All right. And some of these font types are Times New Roman, Arial. There are a couple of them that are very easy. Roboto, there are a couple of them that are very easy. I believe here that the company actually has a standard font that is baseline, that is like to be that is to be used by everyone, which is I think the Verdana. Yes, I knew you put me through that when I came. It was a Verdana, I think. All right. So that font now is very easy to read and understand. All right. So it's very important that we watch our fonts and stuff like that. So secondly, if you are copying and pasting a text, make sure you clear the formatting before sending the email. You understand? Unless in the case where you just want to retain the formatting in which that email was sent in order to retain maybe the tone of the message or something like that. But it's important that when you're copying an email, imagine that a customer escalates to the support reps and the support reps now want to send us the email with the copying what the customer actually have sent to them. All right. It is important that you actually clear the formatting. And on the Windows computer, which all of us use in the office, then it's very easy. Hitting the Control Shift N now on the PC actually disables the formatting type of that text or on which that text was sent in. All right. So it makes your text now looks uniform, unless in the case where you want to retain that formatting type. All right. But in this case now, since we've actually talked about emphasis of using things like italics and bold text format. All right. If you actually want to copy maybe a text that a customer sent and forward to us and include in your own text in your own email and forward to us, you can actually italize what the customer sent. You can actually put what the customer sent in italics, all right, and send to us. That gives that sets kind of a difference between your own text and that which you copied, all right, bringing our attention more to that copied text, all right. So please don't forget you can actually ask questions, type your questions. I'm going to put them on the screen and we will discuss about them together. All right. Okay. Number two, include the subject line. It is very important. Like that is, I think this is one of the most important guidelines, including a subject line for your message. Okay, a subject line now actually imagine that. Okay, I have hundreds of messages. Okay, that have not gone through. All right, and you include a subject line in your own email. All right, that says urgent attention, you understand, or something like that, or a prospect or something like that, or as the support reps always use, escalation. All right, I'll have to prioritize that email first. Okay, I know you guys are already doing a wonderful job on this already. Like the way we get the escalation email, man, that you just have to abandon every other email you want to look at or every other thing you're doing and just attend to that escalation email. All right, you guys are really doing an awesome job on that. But I still want to let's just buttress on it a bit more. All right, it is important to title your email in a way that the recipient immediately knows what the message is about. For example, if you are emailing to follow up on a prospect, you might write prospect service inquiry. All right. So that without opening the email, the person actually has an idea of what the email is about. Okay. And know how to prioritize that email. Yeah. So the third is be cautious with reply all. All right, this is a feature that most people don't really get to know about or stuff like that. Even me myself, when I say it took me a while to actually get to start using it and stuff. When you want to send an email or when you want to reply an email, when you want to reply an email, on the bottom after you type, you can actually before you type your email, you can actually see reply just to that person that sent an email or reply all, okay, which actually copies every email address that was in the sender's email. All right. So you actually have to know when to use just reply and reply all. All right. There are some kind of emails now that are kind of sensitive, all right, to the customer. Okay, in that case, you shouldn't use the reply all. You have to know that okay, I'll just reply to this particular person, okay, and without the customer and the copy. All right, that is when the email is kind of sensitive to the customer. But in any other case where you think everybody should get the message, you can easily use the reply all feature and get it done with. Okay. The benefit of using reply all is that you can respond to everyone at once to let them know an issue has been addressed. However, when in doubt, use reply to avoid inundating a list of people with unnecessary emails. All right, there are people okay in the email copy that it doesn't really concern, that you don't have to copy and stuff like that. So you can actually use reply to kind of manage this. Okay. Then this one, proofread. I know everyone actually does this. Like everyone, there's no one that will say they don't actually do this. That is proofreading your email after you have actually typed it before sending. All right. Proper spelling and grammar are important when sending business correspondence. So always proofread your work before you hit send. Likewise, double check the spelling of the recipient's name and email address. Sometimes autocorrect will alter names. Yes, autocorrect does this, but I won't advise you disabling your autocorrect for anything. Autocorrect actually is a lifesaver. All right. At times we all fall victim to this where we think our English is very correct or standard and stuff like that, or our spelling, you 100% sure of your spelling, and autocorrect will jump in, this is not right and stuff, and maybe you want to confirm and say, and you see that yes, that's those spellings are, or that spelling is actually not right. Okay, so it's very important that we proofread, you use your autocorrect, but make sure that your autocorrect now don't influence the naming, the spelling of names, all right? Because I don't think the autocorrect now was built with our Nigerian names in mind. Okay, so imagine sending a message to Olusegun Olatona and autocorrect now will now kind of mismatch the whole names and stuff like that. So it is very important that we proofread and using the autocorrect, but also minding what we are correcting or what the autocorrect is altering. All right. Okay. Sorry. Latif has a question. Please go ahead, sir. Okay. Latif, we're waiting for a question. Yeah, just type out your question. Please just type out your question. You, yeah, type it out, then I'll put it on the screen for everybody to see. All right. I know it's kind of daunting, but okay. I think we can actually go ahead. Then when the question comes up, we put it up on the screen and we now go back to go through it together. All right. So the next guideline here is reply within 10 minutes. This I will say the support rep teams. Okay, Latif says he's going to ask his question after the entire training, which is totally fine. But you can actually type out your questions while I'm talking, just keep them somewhere, or you just pop them out anytime you want, in short. But it's important that since you've remembered the question, you have a question now, just type it down somewhere and leave it later you bring it up. All right. So back to the this thing, to the guideline, the fifth guideline. Reply within 10 minutes. And I'll see on these support reps are doing 100%. No cap. All right. Support reps are doing 100% on this, replying within 10 minutes. This is actually very, 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 very important that you reply escalation emails due to the nature of our business and everything and the services. It is important that the customer actually gets a reply immediately or almost immediately. They send their complaints in. All right. When someone emails you, you reply within 24 hours. That is a common practice, a common courtesy. All right. Among the general emailing etiquette system or stuff like that. But in our case now, 10 minutes now should actually be a standard. All right. And The support reps teams are already doing an awesome job of that. Okay. If you have unintentionally pass this time frame, express your apologies and politely explain the delay. All right. So if there's a case where okay, you kind of reply outside this time margin or stuff like that, you can actually send in your reply with an apology and explain why the delay actually came about. All right. So I believe this is actually covered. We're actually doing an awesome job of this already. Okay. Okay, keep your tone professional. All right. I know that okay, this might be kind of conflicting, but while writing, while sending an email, your message also has a tone. All right. I can send you an email while I'm angry or something like that. I'll send you a text message right now or a WhatsApp message if I'm angry and you can sense it. All right. The intonation, the words, the arrangements or alignment of the words naturally sends out a tone. All right. I think humans are that intelligent to sense the tone behind an email or a message. Okay. So it is important that when sending out an email professionally, we keep our emotions on the side. All right. Nobody is saying you should shut down your emotions and send emails like a robot. That is not possible, all right? But it's important to put our emotions in check when sending out an email. All right. We all know that there are times where customers we come up with very rude form of approaching issues or stuff like that. But it's still important to act professional in those times. At those times, all right, you put down your emotions and try to act professional. Okay, you think carefully about your word choices in an email and how your intention may be interpreted. Use positive words such as opportunities and challenges instead of obstacles and limitations. All right. Avoid negativity, sarcasm, and adjectives that can cause you to sound overly emotional. Be careful when using humor too, as it can be misinterpreted. That is also one disadvantage of the emailing system. All right. You might want to play around with a little bit of sarcasm. All right. But because it's an email, sarcasm now expression of sarcasm actually goes with body language if you wish to believe, all right, actually goes with body language, but because you are not recording yourself while saying something, all the person is seeing are words, all right, and these words now might mean different thing to the person entirely, all right, and also make sure you checkmate how you use humor also in your email. So, all right, it is important. It is good that once in a while you throw one or two humor here and there, but there are how to actually be to be funny professionally, and I think it's a very steep water to play in. All right. Um, Okay, and this one part also that I like, they say use positive words such as opportunities and challenges, all right, instead of obstacles and limitations. Okay, so instead of saying this opportunity, we didn't go through with this opportunity or something, you can, instead of saying we had an obstacle while going through this or while pursuing this customer, you can say we didn't go through this opportunity or this opportunity didn't come through, things like that, using positive words. All right. So on this now, this is the escalation process. All right. Okay. Why design this slide? I actually thought of okay, should I just write out this and then I just thought it should be better to actually explain it in a kind of a flow chart form. All right. The escalation process. All right. So you can see that the escalation process between the support rep team and the cloud ops team is actually very short. So it's very short and straightforward. All right, a customer now reaches out to the support rep team with an issue. I have this challenge. I have this challenge. The support rep team, basing on our last class, Don't forget in our last class we discussed about how to do very tiny bits of troubleshooting, ping tests, and all those kind of things before properly escalating now, shifting the issue or redirecting the issue now to the cloud ops team. All right. So the support reps now in this case now takes up this customer's issue or challenge or this email, you understand, replies the customer, okay, we'll get back to you, but let us first of all confirm this. All right. The support reps now does a successful troubleshooting does it sorry the support rate carry out the troubleshooting. If it's successful, then yes, all right, you kind of solve the issue using your little troubleshooting steps. You say the troubleshooting is successful, you get back to the customer, tell the customer, okay, this was your issue, this now has been resolved. All right. But see, if the troubleshooting isn't successful, you can now escalate now to the cloud ops, which in this case now we manage to figure out what the issue is. We get back to the support reps. The support reps now confirms again that this issue has been resolved, then gets back to the customer. All right, so you can see this is a very, very simple flow chart of what our the escalation process between the support reps and the cloud ops teams actually look like. All right, I'm going to share this slide at the end of the class so you can always look at it and you can see that. Come on, we're all engineers. This flow chart is a very is very generic. All right. So I think the question should start coming in now because this is almost our last lesson. Okay, and I kind of talked about consolidating with the cloud ops. All right, as it is important to be on the same page with the cloud team on the amount of time it took now in resolving an issue. For these, when sending an RCA, okay, before I get to this, I believe that okay, in our report there is this MTTR part, all right, um, time to resolution of an issue, minimum time to resolution of an issue. All right, I believe that um, I believe that there is a need for the support reps team and the cloud ops team to actually be on the same page on this. All right. So in this part now, I'll actually want us to have a discussion, more of discussion and understand how best this can be achieved. All right. Because it wouldn't actually be nice if we are having a different timeline to resolution and the support reps are having a different timeline to resolution. All right. So I actually thought of something and I was thinking, okay, what of if while sending an RCA to the support reps, the time at which the problem was logged by the cloud ops and the time it was resolved will be included in the email. All right. Say I send you an email. Okay, this was the root cause analysis of the problem. This was out of place. This was out of place. This was what was done to fix it. And on that, I'll now say this was when this issue was logged by us. This was when the issue was resolved. All right, so that we can actually have an accurate time for when issues were logged and resolved, and we're always on the same page. All right, and in this part, you can actually discuss it more, expand on it, and understand. Actually, have a system that works better for us both ways. All right. So I think this is the last slide here, and I'll be ready to take questions right now. So you can put in your questions, send in your questions, we'll put them on the screen, then we'll discuss about them. All right. I'm waiting. Questions. Okay. Please call again. I will take the call now, Rose Latif. Okay. Mr. Latif says question is too long to type, so he wants to call me and ask the question, which is fine. Hello, good morning, sir. I'm okay. Yeah, hello. Hello, okay, sir. Your question. Sorry, I didn't get that. No, it's not. Mm. Hello. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Okay, that's fine, sir. Thank you. I can hear you. I can hear you. No, 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 no. It's just you. Okay. Yes. 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 Ye- Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Mm. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. 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 Thank you. Okay. Okay. Mr. Latif actually called to ask his question because the question is actually too long to type out. Okay. His first question is okay. Since in terms of issues, all right, in terms because let me just go back to the slide on that particular this subject line part, okay? Since it is customary for the support reps teams to use an escalation kind of subject line when saying when redirecting complaints to the proper services, to the proper sorry, to the proper department, to the accurate department that will handle that particular issue. All right. The escalation subject line is like the customary subject line that is always used. All right. But there are times where customers actually call now for inquiries. All right. So he wants to be in the know if if it is if the system now should now be changed to where if a customer wants a prospect wants an inquiry instead of escalation subject line, it's my kind of change to inquiry. All right. Okay, my response to this question is, I would say this kind of this decision is best decided within the team. All right, it's best decided within the team. It's true that the escalation subject line draws attention easily. Okay, it brings you when you see an escalation, you know, okay, it's an issue with your services. All right, but personally, I think if a prospect is making an inquiry that is not on the same scale of severity as when as when the customer is having a downtime one issue. All right, so the prospect inquiry can just be put as inquiry, then maybe exclamation mark, then the prospect name or something like that as the subject line, or just inquiry, all right, as a subject line. Then when there is a downtime, or when the customer is facing service outage, you can now go with the escalation in caps subject line. All right. But I think this is an issue that is best resolved within the department. It's best discussed within the unit. All right. When you decide, then you can also kind of inform us, you understand, of the new mailing tactics you want to employ or something like that. All right. And the second question is more now like a recommendation also about our about the consolidating part with the cloud ops. All right. He said, okay, that there is this particular issue of not actually being on the same benchmark now with the cloud ops team when it comes to time to resolution of an issue. All right. They now open it, the support reps team, open a ticket. All right. Okay, I'm saying D in the third person as if I'm not talking to you guys. Okay, you guys now actually open a ticket when an email comes in, and only close that ticket when you get a reply now from the cloud ops team. All right. And it is possible that this issue now has been solved maybe a day before, but maybe in delay now in actually sending an update to when that issue was solved. As of when that issue was solved now, will okay. Charlene, good morning. Charlene said, I'm not sure I heard Latif's question. Okay, I will go back to Latif's question again. Latif's question now, it's falls under the including a subject line, all right, in the email. Okay, he was like, okay, the normal process of subject lining emails, okay, when redirecting now to various departments is using the escalation. Okay, and I know there are times that prospect actually reach out to the support rep team now to inquire about our services and stuff. All right. In this case now, he's asking, is it still all right to just use the escalation as a subject line, or maybe use something like inquiry as a subject line? All right. That was his question. Okay. And my response is that this is an issue, this is a topic better decided within the department. All right. But personally, I think the level of severity now of a customer having an issue, a downtime, and one making an inquiry is not the same. All right. There are different levels of severity there. All right. So I would suggest personally, I would suggest that, okay, if a customer is making an inquiry now, an inquiry subject line can be used. All right. And if a customer is facing challenges now, an escalation subject line can be used. All right. This is my personal suggestion, but I think this is better decided within the team and the department and other, and then when it is being decided upon that there should be a change in this, then maybe other departments can be informed. All right. So there is also, I don't know, Charlie, if that answers your question, just say you're good. All right. Latif also as is saying something here. He said, okay, Latif says that He thinks that this is will affect the ticket tracking on the non-service affecting tickets. We can still put in escalation, then maybe an inquiry from the prospect on the subject. Because we also need to update the customer irrespective of whether it's an inquiry or service downtime. Okay. So Latif is saying that irrespective of the customers, let me just put it up on the screen. You see? Okay, irrespective of the customer's challenge, whether it's an inquiry or a downtime, that the subject line of escalation can still be used and maybe annotated with inquiry from us prospects to help track the tickets. Okay, Charlene says it's okay. That can be addressed within the team. Yeah, I appreciate that. I believe the team can actually decide what's best for them. But so far, it's not as if we're having any challenge with the current system. I'm just suggesting or bringing up what actually could work best for all of us. All right. So it's not as if there's any challenge with the current system. Okay. And okay, Charlene says it seems escalation is the issue here. Okay, Charlene, escalation is actually not the issue, right? We're not having an issue about it, or it's not as if we're disputing what it already is. All right, we're just looking for if there is a better way. Okay, if there is a better way. All right. But currently, I don't think the my department is having any issue with this. Okay, and Latif says, irrespective irrespective of whether it's an inquiry or service downtime, the customer's team needs to be updated. So to the department, it's an escalation. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. All right. So if there are any other questions, okay, then Latif was actually making over the call was actually making more like a reference to this part of consolidating, as I was saying earlier now. Okay. So it is going to be important now for the cloud ops teams. I and my team are going to discuss and actually find a better way to structure our email that when we are sending out an email now to the cloud or to the support rep team now, we actually annotate or indicate the time at which a particular issue was resolved, so that that time now will be used now to close a particular ticket, so that we don't be having some ridiculous looking hours in on open tickets like 250 something hours, 150 something hours. That doesn't really look good when giving out reports. Okay, so we're actually going to be putting that in our email because forgive our team, at times after solving an issue we don't really send an email immediately because maybe there is something else in the pipeline we're attending to or something like that, so we kind of forget to send an email until later, maybe after the support rep have prompted us or asked before we come up with that. And I think we still gonna do better on that. All right. So please, if there's any other question, be free to ask, drop your questions so we can just go through them. Okay. Okay. Charlene says, so that is a problem. Okay, I don't know what in particular you're referring to. Is it the consolidating with the cloud ops, or are you still making reference to the escalation part? Okay. Charlene says delay in response to escalation to the cloud team. That is a problem. Okay, yes, actually understand that. And given this training now, I think I and my team now will definitely discuss this and make sure we do better. All right. I know that yes, once we receive an issue, once we receive an escalation from the support reps team, we reply immediately before attending to the issue. All right. Where we actually, I know we don't keep up to timing is after the issue has been resolved. At times we send an RCA immediately, but at times it takes a while for us to send an RCA on the issue, which actually affects the open ticket. You understand the timing on the open ticket or time it takes to close the ticket. Yes, yes, and Charlene says this really affects the MTTR as agreed on the SLA. All right, and yes, and she also says that so it should be a feedback from my team now that's going to improve on that. All right. Yes, yes, yes. I agree with you, Charlene. I agree with you, Charlene. So we're going to do better. We're going to do better in replying with an RCA immediately an issue has been resolved. And also putting on the email the exact time at which the customer issue was resolved. All right. So that we can actually be on the same page at all time. Okay. Okay, I don't know if there's any other question or any other inquiries or maybe um addition, contributions on the topic. I don't know if I actually Charlie is satisfied with my okay. Charlene says, thank you so much for this topic. I appreciate you too, Charlene. Thank you for your time. Okay. Any other question, contributions? Come on, guys. We only have Charlene and Latif asking questions. Who I'm making contributions and have other people here. Wow. Yes. Charlene says emailing etiquette, very resourceful and informational. Yes. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you for the review. Was hoping more of the team join this. Yes, I also did, but thank God we have a recording on YouTube. So those that were actually busy or not on duty can actually go back and watch this video again. All right. Okay. Latif says one more thing. Can we have an avenue to also speak during the training? Okay, okay. I think this will actually be a wonderful feature. All right. Okay. Okay. He said instead of typing. All right. And he also said because you really did not get my questions very well. Ah, Latif, I'm very sorry. I didn't really get all your questions. Um, but I think when you have the time, maybe we can actually discuss this outside of here, or maybe you send me a message or something like that. I didn't really understand your question. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And about actually having an avenue to also speak. Okay, there is this feature on this platform I'm actually using. I can actually invite someone also as a co-presenter. All right. So maybe in our next training class, I can either have you or Charlene now as a co-presenter, so you can actually transmit all of your department's um questions or inquiries now live while every other person is also listening and watching. All right. I don't know if that would do it for you. Okay. If everyone else is good, you can just give a thumb up. Um, okay. No more questions coming in. Charlene says, "How am I doing?" Okay, I'm very fine, Charlene. Thank you for asking. I'm good. Thank you for asking, and I hope you're doing good as always. Also, all right. If there are no more questions, then yeah, Latif, send the thumb up. That's good. All right, Zainab, EY, um, they're all sending their thumbs up. So that's cool. That's cool. I really appreciate everyone on this class. Yes, praise also sends a thumb up. I see you, praise. All right. Thank you everyone for joining this class, and please still note you can after the class you can still send emails with your questions. Okay, if you have more inquiry, you can call, you can send emails and stuff like that, and I will always respond. All right, and maybe after this class we're going to send a very short quiz for everyone to take. All right, so thank you everyone. Have a very pleasant day. Yeah, bye.